What's going on, guys? Today I'm going over the 3 biggest questions I get from businessmen when it comes to nutrition. All right, question number 1. How can I eat for high energy and focus without cooking all day or eating junk? Number 1, plan ahead of time. You need to know what kind of meals you're going to have the day before, or even in that morning, or even ideally the week ahead. So you can do things like prep meals, so you can prep, instead of just cooking one meal, you're going to cook 2 meals or 4 meals at a time. That way you can have breakfast, or you can have, breakfast and brunch, or you can have lunch and dinner for 2 days or spread it out across a few meals or a few more days, as long as the food still stays good. So meal prepping is number 1. High energy and focus without cooking all day or eating junk. Well, number 1, remove all the junk from your life. Whether that's having the willpower to say no, because that's going to be your number 1 key to losing weight, is just saying no to the junk. And the other thing is not buying it saying no when it's offered, right? And then the other thing is not buying it. So if you're not buying these things, especially or overeating them, or it's a lot easier to not overeat junk food if you're not buying it. Also, you want to fuel your body by saying, all right, let's ensure that we put in at least 2 high quality meals early in the day and a bunch of water and even things like caffeine. So I would say for high energy and focus, I personally drink coffee or energy drinks or something where it's basically I'm just getting caffeine in the morning. So I'm in a calorie deficit more than likely, from the time I wake up until the afternoon. So that's number 1 for just having a clear head and staying focused. And then I would say don't eat a whole lot of carbs, even if you work out at 11 and in the afternoon or even in the morning. Delay your food intake and delay your carbs, especially because carbs is what's going to make you feel tired and lazy. Especially, you can have like some honey or some fruit. Those are going to be fine, but you don't want to be overfueled on a high amount of carbs. And you would know, to me, if it's just a little bit of rice or potatoes, that's fine, but it should really be like a light meal. You don't want to be putting your body into that rest and recover state fully. You want to still be optimizing for your mental energy because you got work to do and things to get done. Without cooking, another thing, I eat things that are already prepared, more or less, like sardines are a go-to. So good for your physical and mental health, and they take 0 time to prep, or takes a minute to prep some sardines. The same thing goes for like a smoked salmon, like lox, like bagel with lox without the bagel. So literally just some smoked salmon with like some cream cheese and capers is going to be great. Other things, I'm sure you could add protein shakes into this category, but I don't necessarily take any supplements, so I'm not going to advocate for it there. But that's number 1. I think that's a good base. Eating things like eggs, animal protein is going to be great. And fruit, honey, etc. Those are probably going to be my go-tos, and ideally some fish that is low prep time is going to be awesome as well. But that and meal prepping, and just prioritize your grocery list to have high quality foods. Now moving on, how do I stay lean and strong while traveling or in back-to-back meetings? Well, to stay strong, you need to continue exercising. Today we're going to focus on nutrition. On the nutrition side, you need to eat a high amount of protein. So anywhere from, I think a realistic measure is 0.8 to 0.9 grams of protein per pound. Realistically, as long as you're eating animal-based protein every meal or with your snacks, then you're going to be good. Obviously, if you have some fruit and some nuts outside of that, that's fine. Staying lean, again, eating animal protein is going to be number 1 to me. That and hydrating, so you're going to be full and satiated. And I would say tracking your foods. You should know how many calories you're burning, how many calories you're burning throughout a day typically, and then how many calories you want to be eating based on how fast you want to lose that weight. Again, 3,500 calories is 1 pound of body weight. So if you want to lose 1 pound, you need to have a deficit of 3,500, say over 1 week is going to be reasonable. So a couple hundred a day, and go from there. And to do so, number 1, while traveling, I have go-tos at convenience stores. I have go-to places that I'm going to eat. So I'll hit a Chipotle if I'm on the road and I need a meal. Other than that, I'll have probably just like some protein, no fries or anything. Even if I hit a fast food spot, it's all right. So I'll get like a burger or a chicken sandwich and go from there. Also, you can stop at convenience stores, get things like hopefully some higher quality and lower sugar beef jerky, cheese sticks. You can get, I have some go-to protein bars that I do probably grab that, or like that and like some milk or some orange juice. Just obviously you're going to keep the same kind of ingredients if you can. There's a difficulty to having it done on the road, but to me, you're going to follow the same structure. So delay your solid foods until the afternoon, delay your carbs until after you're done working for the most part. To me, if you can delay a big carb load until after dinner, even if you are going to have them at all, or have a high amount of them, it's going to be best after your work is done. That way you have some time to sit, rest, and digest. I would advocate even going for a walk there. I know this is focused on nutrition, but that's going to be helpful. So how do I stay lean and strong while traveling? Another aspect to traveling is like having those times where you are out to eat with others. So to me, it's going to be quite similar still. Have a bite or two of your sides. You don't need to have a whole, basically half of your plate ideally is going to be animal protein. If it's like a quarter of it, then just have a little bit less of the sides, or get a side of, chicken wings or something, where you're literally just getting animal protein. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. If it's 1 or 2 days, that's cool. If you're living this lifestyle of traveling, you're going to have some go-tos, and I'm sure you'll figure it out. Being in back-to-back meetings, I'm not sure why that would have you stray from being lean and strong. I think more so if you can work from home or bring some high quality snacks, then you're going to be fine. Again, fruit, beef jerky, cheese sticks are going to be good. Protein bars, parfaits if you can have some refrigeration to it. I wouldn't necessarily say bring in sardines and salmon there, unless you can keep it in a spot, because they might smell a little funky. But yeah, prep your meals. It's going to be the same thing there. For back-to-back meetings, I guess if you are traveling and going to meetings, that's understandable. But yeah, just have even like Starbucks, like they don't have the best stuff, but you can get some bacon and egg bites. It's obviously fake bacon and eggs, but it's better than going in for a muffin, which is basically just a small cake, So keep that in mind. I would say focus on your animal proteins and your whole foods like fruits and vegetables, and then limit your carb intake as well. Or just delay your carb intake until later in the day. I'm not going to sit here like I had pizza yesterday, but I'm still losing weight, so don't worry about it. Is there a way to boost testosterone naturally through what I eat? Absolutely, 100%. I've done it myself. It's a great question. I will drop a link. Also, I have a free guide where I talk about training, nutrition, and recovery to boost testosterone. Helped me to do so by over 120%. With that said, let's move on to the actual answer though. Is there a way to boost testosterone naturally through what I eat? 100%. The main thing though is that you should be prioritizing removing deficiencies. So if you have deficiencies in certain micronutrients, then you're going to be more likely to not be producing the optimal amount of testosterone, whether that's free testosterone, total testosterone, the other aspects that go into that, right? So you want to be managing stress, which is a big reason why I think that testosterone is one of the best measures of your health. It's because you not only need to be training, but you need to be training enough, but also not too much, because then you're going to overdo it. Like if you go out and run a marathon, your testosterone is going to be completely shot. That's why I don't advocate for stuff like that. You want to be lifting heavy, but all right, nutrition side of things, you want to have things like zinc, magnesium, eating things like honey that I eat on a daily basis to improve that LH, or luteinizing hormone, which helps to produce, or is the precursor to producing more testosterone. Eating things like eggs, getting your natural cholesterol. Now your body, just because you don't eat cholesterol doesn't mean it's not going to produce it, which is also why I think it's funny how the literature has changed, and now it's considered a lot healthier, and there's good and bad types of cholesterol, right? So eat your saturated fats, whether that's with butter or animal fat. I personally always get 80-20 ground beef. It's not anything for me to be concerned about. I'm doing fine with losing weight. Just limit the amount of, I would just say measure how much you're eating of it calorie-wise, and you're good. Also, getting sunlight is going to help with all that, but that's more so lifestyle. So yeah, let's see what ChatGPT has to say, if there's anything that I missed. The only other thing I want to add there is that if you're in a 10 to 20% body fat, that's going to be the ideal range for producing testosterone and helping you to function optimally as a man. So if you're below 10%, you're probably not producing enough testosterone. And if you're over 20, typically anything over 20% is where you're really going to see a drop off how testosterone and converting it into estrogen. Hence the reason that man boobs are not only the fat in them, but truly the shape of your body. So testosterone is great for giving you the optimal aesthetic shape, if you will. Without it, you're going to be more of like a skinny fat kind of build. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT has to say on top of that. Yeah, I guess there's other foods in there you could add, like oysters, organ meat, pomegranate, stuff like that is going to be helpful. I'm sure, you know, I just want to make it realistic, right? Like, to me, people aren't going to eat oysters every day. That's why I recommend things like sardines, because they're cheap and easy to get access to and eat, and they're great for your health. All right, let's see. So basically gave ChatGPT a little bit of an answer in general. So your answers are solid, especially your practical whole food approach. Here's how you can level up each answer strictly through nutritional upgrades, layering, depth, clarity, and edge. Eating for high energy and focus without cooking all day. What I have. Okay, what to add? Blood sugar stability tips. Pair fruit with fats/protein to avoid energy crashes. Apple and cheese, berries and yogurt. Interesting. Color variety. Include different colored fruits and veggies for micronutrient diversity. Fair enough. Fermented foods support gut braining. Yeah. I mean, to me, like, if I'm recommending fruits and veggies, that's just gonna happen. Don't eat the same fruit or the same veggie every single day, or that fruit or veggie every single day. Kimchi or kefir, yeah, those are solid. But realistically, to me, if you're eating what I recommended, you're not gonna have any issues with your gut. Hydration minerals, sure. Add some sea salts or electrolytes to water for sustained cognition, especially if low carb. Yeah, I always say sea salt and lemon. I'm not a big fan of supplements themselves, so electrolytes are coming from natural methods there. Even eating, like, I know bananas and dates are big on potassium, so that's actually one consideration when it comes to hydration. Now, and I know they're foods, but they help with hydration. So number two, I guess a lot of fruits and veggies have water in them, but you can just drink your water regardless. Number two, staying lean and strong while traveling or in meetings. What to add? Travel snacks hierarchy. I feel like I kind of had that. I don't think you need a hierarchy. It's more situational in my opinion. Eating out framework. Teach the 3P rule. Prioritize protein, plants, then portion control. I don't know. I think that's some bullshit. Just going to tell it to you how it is. Don't worry about that. Time restricted eating. Show how businessmen can skip breakfast strategically to simplify travel days. I guess I didn't tell it all of what I said, so that's already covered. Simple hydration rule, 1 liter per 50 pounds of body weight adjusted up when flying or high stress. Sure. We already covered hydration. Boosting testosterone naturally through nutrition. What you have, remove deficiencies, okay? What to add? Organ meats. I already mentioned that one. Oh, Brazil nuts is good because it gives you selenium, supports T and thyroid. Yeah, beef liver is going to be best. Chicken liver is pretty good. Other forms of liver are good. I also know that things like bone marrow are good as well. So, like, eating the whole animal, if you will. Shellfish, yeah, oysters are elite, which I mentioned, for zinc and dopamine. Dopamine's also going to be good. So just your good dopamine, something sustainable, not just a bag of sugar. Cruciferous vegetables help detox excess estrogen. I actually talked with a mentor of mine, and he said that lifting heavy weight also detoxes excess estrogen. I think he was joking, but to me, that's some real shit right there, I guess. Avoid testosterone killers. Obviously, kill the excess alcohol. Soy and seed oils are going to be your biggest inhibitors for testosterone when it comes to food. I would also say fried foods are another hidden one. But with that said, yeah, that's awesome. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Would love to chat more or go more in depth on some of these things. Yeah, another thing when it comes to testosterone, healthy fats, like if you know you're getting really high quality olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, that would be good. But avocados, stuff like that. But yeah, these are all going to be good things. I try to eat, a protein and a fat is going to be your ideal thing early on in the day. Go ahead and fuel up on some other things later on. That's fine. Just try to get as much as you can done with a clear head early in the day. Add in some fruit and some yogurt, or some eggs and avocado and stuff like that, some animal-based foods, and I think you'll be in a good spot. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll chat with you all soon. Appreciate you tuning in. Drop a like. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll chat soon.